Welcome to the Mindfulness broadcast. I'm Tiffany Grimes and with Empower Coaching and Training. And today I woke up a little grumpy. I'm just going to be honest. Actually, I went to bed a little grumpy with a whole thing last night where my dog ate the potential poison and we ended up late night at the emergency vet, and all the grumpiness went right into my shoulder and my neck. And I just thought I was finding myself trying to get out of it this morning. And then I thought, wow, what is the mindfulness practice around grumpy? And it just made me think about how easy it is to be mindful when it's fun and lovely, and how wonderful it is to be present in those moments, and how that really can be layered and complicated and complex when more I would say difficult feelings for us arise that we might not be as able to cope with, or as trained in coping with those more challenging feelings. And um, so I thought we could kind of play with that this morning, because I know I'm not the only one that wakes up grumpy, and that it's a wonderful skill set to develop. Um, I heard somebody the other day describing mindfulness. This was an article I was reading, and I really loved it. And the way that I'm very visual, so I wanted to share it with you to see if you can kind of visualize this. But if we think about just creating a mindful relationship with our present moment, if you imagine a horizontal line as kind of this linear relationship with time, right? And it's our doing self. It's one moment to the next, the things we're checking off, what's happening, and we're moving from left to right. And then if you imagine a vertical line, and that represents our being, so our current emotional state. And that, of course, moves along second by second, minute by minute, moment by moment, and so forth. And anything to the left is the past, and anything to the right is the future. And so if you draw this little line around the intersection of the doing and the being, and are able to drop into that intersection, that is being mindful. That is being intentional and present with what we are doing and how we are being, and how those two things have a relationship, um, and can kind of influence each other, if you will. And so my vertical line in this particular moment is grumpy, is tired, I hurt. And so if I apply kind of this mindfulness lens to that, instead of what my mind will do on purpose, which is kind of keep that grumpy state and let it keep trucking along my present moment and influence it. And maybe my thoughts become grumpy towards others, or about the things I have to do, or just existence in general, or humanity in general. Instead, I can come into this state of being, come back into that intersection and get curious and be compassionate, and even think about how my desire is not to feel that way, and get curious about that. What is it about being grumpy that has this negative impact for me? And what if I just had compassion and grace and allowed myself to feel this? Um, what would happen then, right? Those are all mindfulness questions that we're bringing into this experience. And how is this influencing my pain? How is my emotion influencing then the tension and the pain? And is there a way that I want to be in relationship to the grumpiness that is different than how I currently am, which is resisting and embodying it? So I hope that resonates with you. I love the visual of it and want to explore just that beautiful circle, that being in the living in that space that is our doing and our being. So with that, let's go ahead. We can close our eyes, or we can take a soft gaze. Take a deep breath And just feel yourself crawl into that inner circle, that place of intersection, of doing and being. As you do that, move your body into a physical state that is attentive, that reminds your brain we're doing something here. We're doing some good intentional work here. Your feet are grounded on the floor, uncrossed. You can feel both sits bones if you're sitting, finding a balance, not leaning too far forward or too far back. Feeling and inviting energy up the spine, feeling it energize as you move that all the way up through the crown of the head. Not stiff, not rigid, just attentive, energized. Might notice the energy that's in your jaws, your shoulders, the space between your eyebrows, and see if you can just invite some ease, some space. You might roll them, stretch them, move them, and then allow them to land in alignment. Intentionally bringing your breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And as you're doing this whole thing, taking an inventory, where does it feel good? Where does it feel crunchy or painful? Without judgment, just noticing. Considering how that might be influencing or influenced by what you're doing, your behavior, your actions. Taking inventory of your emotional space. How would you name your own emotional state? Seeing if you can land on one or two words. And then again, bringing that inside the bubble, that circle, and thinking about how does that influence, or how is it influenced by what I'm doing? So we're kind of rising above that intersection and observing it, observing relationships, thoughts, patterns, the physicality of it, the emotional state of it. And before we get curious about it, Maybe we just practice some acceptance. I'm just really feeling grumpy right now. It's okay. This is an emotion I get to feel. I don't have to shame myself or say it needs to be different. I can just meet myself right here, right where I am. And when I do that, I can then get curious. And notice I said I'm feeling grumpy as opposed to I am grumpy. This reminds me that it is an emotion and not an identity. It also reminds me that it's temporary. Do this in your own circle right now. Give yourself that acceptance, whatever it is. This acceptance of our humanity, of the gift we have to feel so many things. And then again, from that place of observation, an observation deck, looking at this, the intersection, the process, we invite some curiosity. What are my thoughts about grumpy? When I really dig down, I think maybe it's not okay to feel. I should be feeling good. Everything turned out okay. I should be grateful. What's wrong with me? Right? That's really, as I get curious about it, I'm layering on more pain to just the grumpiness because of my judgment. And then I can ask myself, how do I want to be in relationship to this? What does bringing grace to this moment look like, feel like, sound like? What might I say to a loved one who is feeling this? And can I give myself that same love and kindness? And all the while, we're plotting ourselves forward on this line of doing. And that vertical line of being is coming along with us. And meeting ourselves, just continuously meeting ourselves in that intersection. It's the only place we have power. And as we close out this practice, pull from it whatever insight or nugget of wisdom that you want to carry on with you throughout today. And then slowly open your eyes and come back together. Thank you. Thanks for being here. I hope you have whatever kind of day you're having right now in this moment. Be well, everyone. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.